I just sat here. I just want to get my bill. The gentleman already paid, who I don't know, who never come and spoke to me. He's paid my bill for my full Irish. And it was lovely. Beautiful moments, eh? And again, I'm not in the UK. People say, he's not in the UK. I don't have a home in the UK. I don't have anywhere to live in the UK. And when I walk the streets of the UK, I face potential imprisonment for self-defence. So yeah, I'm not in the UK. I want September 13th to go ahead. I want it to be successful. So when I land in the UK, I'll make sure I have people with me the entire time, filming, so that nothing else can go wrong. Well, I was bound second. I've got lots of podcasts coming up again. I'm just lined up all my interviews. But I've just enjoyed the full Irish, and even better, to the gentlemen that come in here, you must hopefully watch my social media. I'm very grateful to you. It's a wonderful moment for me. Just waiting for my haircut, I can't get until 1 o'clock. So thank you, mate.
Far-right activist Tommy Robinson has highlighted what he describes as a clear demonstration of public support after a stranger unexpectedly paid for his breakfast this week. Posting online, Robinson expressed gratitude for the gesture, noting he hadn't been able to thank the individual directly. "Thank you to the gentleman who got my breakfast. I did not even get to say thank you to him," he wrote. "What a great thing, a clear demonstration of how much support I have from the people." While the act itself may appear minor, Robinson framed it as evidence that he maintains backing among ordinary Britons, despite years of legal battles, media criticism, and controversy surrounding his activism. Supporters seized on the anecdote as proof that Robinson retains a loyal base willing to quietly show solidarity in everyday settings. Critics, however, cautioned against reading too much into what they see as an isolated act of kindness. They argue Robinson has a history of amplifying small stories into broader narratives of persecution and resistance, using them to reinforce his public image as a figure embattled by elites, but supported by the people. The breakfast episode follows Robinson's recent announcement of a large-scale free speech rally planned for September 13, which he has billed as the biggest patriotic gathering the world has ever seen. Both developments fit a familiar pattern, portraying himself as a target of cancellation while simultaneously showcasing gestures, whether small acts of generosity or mass rallies, as evidence of resilience and grassroots strength. For Robinson's critics, his reliance on such anecdotes highlights the fragility of his claim to mainstream relevance. Yet for his supporters, even modest stories, like a stranger covering his meal, are charged with symbolic weight, reinforcing a broader belief that Robinson speaks for ordinary citizens ignored by establishment institutions. As Britain's political climate remains polarized over questions of immigration, free speech, and nationalism, Robinson's ability to turn personal moments into political statements underscores his skill at shaping narrative battles, even from the breakfast table.
How does that make you feel? So you're a business owner, you're paying your taxes, you're doing all sorts, you're about to get clobbered again in autumn by the looks of things. But meanwhile, if you want to go to Portsmouth and rent a beach hut, it's going to be cheaper for you if you just arrive from Eritrea.
I think the British public is absolutely sick of being treated like we're mugs. We're a situation where we've seen attacks on farming, attacks on small businesses, attacks on pensioners. Across the board, there's contempt. We're being treated and gaslit, actually, and being told we're all sorts of names for asking questions and pushing back. Brave the women in pink who fought there at the Bell Hotel, but across the country as well. We've seen it in Falkirk, we've seen it in Norwich, we've seen it in the Barbican at London, right? People standing up peacefully. Even in the news today, people were saying all sorts of words like anarchy and violence. But actually, this is the backbone of Britain, who are saying, we're not having this, it's not acceptable, we don't think this is right. And so we need to have a reckoning. And it needs to be a peaceful, sensible, rational one, but it needs to be robust and it needs to be dealt with. And the problem is that on the one hand, you've got a government that's got lost control of what's going on and borders, and you've got civil servants who are contradicting what elected representatives have said. And at the same time, you've also got councils, some of which have got very dubious outlooks, who are also massively in debt, over 140 billion in the UK.
Can I just put this into context? Only 14 councils in England and Wales are not in dire financial straits. Birmingham City Council, which is over £1 billion in debt, is increasing council tax by 22%. To offer residents fewer services, fewer council
It's
services.
mad.
So they're increasing council tax to offer them fewer services, and yet they have the money to do all of this. Just to put it into context how ridiculous this whole situation
Look,
is.
absolutely.
Alan Miller, co-founder of the Together Association, has sharply criticized government spending on migrant services, accusing ministers of treating British citizens like they're mugs. Speaking out after revelations that taxpayer money is being used to provide benefits such as gym memberships to asylum seekers, Miller said the policy underscored the growing frustration among ordinary Britons who feel neglected while public services strain under pressure. The British people are sick of being treated like they're mugs, Miller said. Billions are being handed out while our own citizens are left struggling to pay bills, access health care, and simply get bed. It's insulting and it's unsustainable. The latest row comes amid heated debate over how asylum seekers are housed and supported while their applications are processed. Recent reports have detailed government-funded access to amenities that critics argue go beyond basic humanitarian support, including free leisure facilities. For Miller and other campaigners, such spending sends the wrong message at a time when the UK faces a cost of living crisis, mounting NATS backlogs, and cuts to local services. People cannot understand how, at a time of national hardship, there is money for perks but not for essentials, he added. The issue has quickly become a flashpoint in Britain's broader immigration debate, which has dominated headlines from small boat crossings in the English Channel to disputes over the government's Rwanda deportation plan. Critics of the spending argue it incentivizes illegal migration and fuels resentment among citizens already skeptical of the system's fairness. Defenders, however, say access to recreational outlets is a modest investment in well-being and integration, reducing the risk of social isolation while asylum seekers await decisions. Miller's comments reflect growing grassroots anger that politicians risk ignoring. Polling consistently shows immigration as one of the top concerns for UK voters, often tied to anxieties about national identity, resource allocation, and fairness in public spending. By framing the issue as a betrayal of taxpayers, the Together Association aims to channel that frustration into political momentum. Whether the government moves to review or curtail such spending will likely depend on how much pressure ministers face as the immigration debate heats up further. Thanks so much for watching. I want to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment down below and let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss future updates. Your support really helps this channel keep growing. And don't forget, we've got an active Telegram community where we share updates, behind the scenes discussions, and content you won't see anywhere else. The link's in the description. Come join us, be part of the movement.